Extreme storm hits Beijing and much of China in April 2025. The country faces one of its worst weather events in decades. A powerful storm swept through Beijing and much of northern China in mid-April 2025, leaving behind a trail of destruction and chaos. The phenomenon, described by many as a mix of typhoon, sandstorm, and polar cyclone, reached levels unseen in recent decades. In the capital, wind gusts exceeded 150 kilometers per hour, 93 miles per hour, the highest recorded in over 50 years. This led to the mass cancellation of flights, the closure of major tourist attractions, and the suspension of public transportation. It all began on Friday, April 11th, when a cold vortex system formed over Mongolia and quickly moved east and south, striking Beijing and other northern Chinese regions. This system caused an abrupt temperature drop of up to 12 degrees Celsius, 21.6 degrees Fahrenheit, and generated winds so strong that the China Meteorological Administration issued an orange wind alert, the second highest level, for the first time in a decade. By Saturday, April 12th, the damage was already extensive. In Beijing, more than 693 flights were canceled across both Capital International and Daxing airports. The Airport Express Metro line and several high-speed rail services were also suspended. The capital's streets were virtually empty after authorities advised residents to stay indoors. On social media, residents shared images of abandoned roads, fallen trees, and destroyed structures, describing the atmosphere as apocalyptic. Major tourist destinations in Beijing, such as the Summer Palace, Temple of Heaven, Beijing Zoo, and Universal Studios theme park, were temporarily shut down. Hundreds of trees were uprooted, 703 had fallen by Saturday afternoon, and at least 19 vehicles were crushed by trunks or large branches. Despite the extensive property damage, no casualties had been reported in the capital at that time. The winds extended beyond Beijing. In Tianjin, a nearby city to the southeast, wind speeds reached level 14 on China's wind scale, equating to gusts above 150 kilometers per hour, 93 miles per hour. It was the most extreme weather event in the area since 1951. In Panshan, located in Jizhou district, all historical wind speed records were shattered. A local resident recounted how their car was violently shaken while driving on the highway due to the powerful gales. By April 13th, the situation had worsened. Beijing was struck by what was officially classified as a level 14 super typhoon, the strongest storm in 10 years. Over 1,200 trees were felled, and more than 4,336 branches were ripped from trees. Local insurance companies received over 500 property damage claims. Residents described how the wind stripped insulation from buildings and shattered windows, with scenes resembling those from an earthquake. Other regions were hit just as hard. In Hunan province, wind levels reached 15, the strongest in 60 years, smashing floor-to-ceiling windows and ravaging urban greenery. Authorities closed multiple roads and tourist sites in cities like Zhengzhou. In Wuhai, Inner Mongolia, a collapsed city wall killed one person when it crushed a vehicle. Chongqing, in southwestern China, was also severely affected. On April 11th, a level 12 thunderstorm hit the city, producing over 7,000 lightning strikes within 6 hours. This surge triggered a dramatic increase in storm-induced asthma cases. Hospitals were overwhelmed with over 120 emergency respiratory cases in one night. In other areas of Sichuan, intense storms accompanied by hail and heavy rain caused similar havoc. Beyond the wind and rain, sandstorms impacted at least 21 provinces. From Inner Mongolia to the Yangtze River region, visibility dropped to near zero. In Guangdong, an unusual sandstorm blanketed cities like Guangzhou, Zhuhai, and Dongguan, reaching severe pollution levels. Shocked residents claimed they had never seen such storms in this part of the country before. In Sichuan, the storm's effects even reached the river basin, crossing the Qinling and Daba mountains. Cities such as Guangyuan and Mianyang woke up to a yellow sky filled with dust. In some areas, fine dust concentration levels exceeded 1,300 on the air quality index. Circulating images showed motorbikes covered in thick layers of sand and streets entirely deserted. In Anhui Province, over 1,000 towns experienced winds above level 8, and at least 58 towns were hit with winds surpassing level 10. In Tiantangzai and Qianshan, gusts reached level 12. Tragically, in the city of Wuhan, a 55-year-old woman was killed when a fallen tree struck her while riding a bicycle. The situation led to a partial collapse of the national road system. Reports indicated that at least 106 road sections, including 82 highways, were affected by the strong winds and sandstorms, forcing the closure of 503 toll booths and blocking 16 major routes. Gas stations and service stations also suspended operations due to the dangerous conditions. Scenes of chaos unfolded in Beijing supermarkets, where shelves were emptied in a matter of hours by panicked residents fearing a prolonged crisis. Panic buying spread to online platforms, prompting government reassurances that food supplies remained stable, though videos showed long lines and carts filled with essential goods. The National Meteorological Center reported that between April 11th and 13th, more than 1,900 weather stations recorded winds of level 11 or higher. Five stations registered winds equivalent to level 14. Authorities warned that extreme events like this, driven by climate change, are likely to become more frequent and intense in the coming years. Meanwhile, citizens expressed their fear and frustration on social media. Many compared the storm to a disaster movie. Some mocked official statements that only 19 vehicles were damaged, while they personally observed dozens more in their neighborhoods. Images of crushed cars, uprooted trees, and destroyed building facades flooded digital platforms. By the end of the weekend, authorities announced that winds would gradually subside, although the damage was already beyond measure. This storm, with traits of a super typhoon, sandstorm, and polar cyclone all at once, tested the response capacity of one of the world's largest and most populous nations. It left a clear message: extreme weather is no longer the exception. It's the new reality, demanding preparation, resilience, and collective awareness.